for a little bit on my, like, when I pull up your YouTube, like it takes a minute to show up.
It's definitely
Um,
delayed.
yeah, but it doesn't even show up that you're live, which is like the weird one.
Really?
It takes a while. Okay, no, no. Oh, now he's live.
They can hear us. We're live. But it
Got
just
it.
says stream is starting. So they can just kind of hear the
Got it.
behind the scenes chatter.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. My audio's coming through good?
Yeah, it looks good.
Or do I look good?
As always. Duh. Duh.
Do we not have any like copyright free like little music background stuff, or are we just not smart enough to figure it out? Are we
Because
just
I
like
logged out, it kicked me out
do
of
all
the
you do is mess up all the time?
dude, you know how it be.
Oh, wait, I gotta lock in my I gotta get my game ready.
Well, I usually have pretzel music. Da-da.
Oh my gosh, yeah. I have some funny running would you rather questions for the end for you.
Ooh, I like it.
But I don't know if I can share my I probably won't I probably shouldn't share my I don't know if I can share my screen. I'll just do yeah, I'll just ask them to you.
What the hell? They got rid of Streamlabs music? Oh, wait. Hold on. All right, we're just going to start it. We're going back. Ready?
Yep. Oh, I had a funny thing. Oh,
You started the show with you have a funny thing. How's that for a teaser, folks? Huh?
I just had I have a crazy thought that came through my head. But I'll tell you later.
We got a good one today, folks. It's Goldy. It's Mac. We're here. We are, what are we, 18 days out from the race of our lives. And we're here to talk about it today.
Yeah.
I'm Goldy. I'm in Dallas, Texas. My friend on the other end, Mac, why don't you introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Mac, McQuaid, Mac, whatever you want to call me, Big Mac, Big Mac Special, Mac Daddy, Mac Attack. I'm over in Rochester, New York, born and raised in the 716 Buffalo, New York, where I met this handsome guy that I'm on stream with, Goldy. I always call him Goldy. I barely ever call him Brian, but he's Goldy to me, and I'm over in Rochester, New York. So little, kind of far away from Goldy.
But you know what? We're not even, the next time we see each other, it won't be in Rochester. It won't be in Dallas. It's going to be in Buffalo, New York for the Buffalo Marathon happening May 25th. Now, we both have some very exciting reasons as to why we're running this race. So, for me, I'm going to be attempting to break the Guinness World Record for the fastest half marathon in lacrosse equipment. I'm going to be wearing Buffalo Bandits lacrosse gear, jersey, the whole 9 yards. The record is 1 hour 44 minutes, and I am going to be doing it fundraising for the City of Buffalo Animal Shelter, where I got my dog Delavan. So that's the long and the short of it. This will be my second Guinness World Record if I am able to accomplish it. My first world record, I broke the Guinness World Record for the fastest marathon in football equipment. So that's my why. McQuaid, let them know about your why. Why are you running that Buffalo Marathon?
Hey, it's two letters, Goldie. I'm trying to BQ. I
Not
want
DQ,
that
not
B.
Dairy Queen, folks.
No,
BQ.
no, no, no. Even though Go To Dairy Queen is the Reese's Peanut Butter Cup Blizzard with chocolate ice cream. That's my go-to Blizzard from the BQ, but I need to BQ. All right. So I'm trying to run under 2 hours and 55 minutes for the Buffalo Marathon. That will make me eligible to run the Boston Marathon in 2026. So I just got to go as low as I can. I got to get under 255. and I just got to go as fast as I can. So that's my goal, and that's the standard for males in the 25 to 35-year-old age group. And the Boston Marathon is it's the hardest marathon in the world to qualify for. So that's
So
why I want to run
Mac,
it.
so Mac, to put that in perspective, dude, like people who don't run 255 just sounds like okay, 255. That doesn't mean anything. You know what I mean? Like I could say the moon is a million miles away or 20 million miles away. Put it in context. What's that average pace per mile to run a 2 hour 55-minute marathon?
Yeah, it's if you've ever kind of ran 20 minutes for the 5K or right around there, I mean that's a 3.1 mile race. Let's call it 3 miles. It's basically doing that 7 times, 8 times in a row. You got to run 6:42 pace per mile. So that is just about shoot on a track. I mean that's under about under 145, about right around 139 or so per lap of the track. If you're just doing a lap of a track, but you're doing it for 26 miles for just under 3 hours. So really, really difficult.
That's pretty outrageous. People don't understand how truly hard that is. And your age is one of the more difficult age groups to Boston qualify time or to qualify for the Boston Marathon. So I'll be honest with you, and I've never anything but honest. But your training has been absolutely inspiring, off the wall. Like you're cooking, you're absolutely cooking, and that leads us to our next part of the show. We're going to dive into our training. Now, for some of you out there who don't know who we are, we'll give you a quick background into our experiences. So we come from very different backgrounds. We're very different people. I'm a short guy. I have played explosive sports my whole life. I played arena football. I played semi-pro before that. I played in college. So I've never been an endurance guy. I got into triathlon, and I'm a triathlete primarily. But the running portion is, of the 3 sports, what I enjoy the most. Mac, why don't you give them a little bit about your background?
Yeah, and like Goldy said, and I think this is why Goldy and I mesh so well together is we have very different competitive athletic backgrounds. I got recruited out of high school to run cross country and track in college, so I pretty much gave up every other sport and any other thing that wasn't focused on getting better at running. And so that's what I did I did it through high school. I played a couple other sports in high school, but then focused on running for 5 years straight in college and focused on running for about 2 years after college, all in. All I was doing was eat, sleep, run. So I ran pretty fast in college. I got down to pretty close to 4 minutes in the mile. I ran just around 15 flat in the 5K. I ran 24:40 for the 5 mile. So I definitely ran pretty hard in college, but now I'm older and now we're just trying to hang on there and get this BQ, right?
And Mac, we got a comment from UFL Highlights. Says, had a buddy a couple years ago qualify for the Boston Marathon. Still had zero idea how insane of an accomplishment that was. And that's true. And what's interesting, too, is there's only so many spots that you can do. We explained this in the last time we talked, but just to kind of reiterate, just because you run a Boston qualifying time doesn't actually mean that you can go to the Boston Marathon. So, for instance, Mac is saying, I need to run a 2:55. Technically, he doesn't. He can run a Boston qualifying time of what? Was it
So to be eligible to run, I have to run 2:55 is the minimum standard. It's basically unknown what the exact time is that I have to run to do it. It's very confusing. UFL, great comment, by the way. It's a very confusing race to qualify for. The theory is if you run around 2:51, 2:52, you'll get in. You run a few minutes faster than their cutoff time that they list, then you'll be safe to get in. So I'm kind of shooting for a 2:52, 2:51, and just hoping I get in. But
So the way to think of it is like this: there's only so many spots per age group that can run in the race, and this is one of the most popular races in the world. So just because you run a Boston qualifying time, if the spot they go in order of the times. So if you are running a 2:54 and they've already allotted the slots, you ran a Boston qualifying time, but you didn't get into the race, right? I mean,
how
that's
crappy would that be, Goldy?
that's not going to happen. We're not going to put that in the atmosphere in the world. So UFL Highlights says cross country is one of the best sports out there. We'll humble you real quick. Football practice couldn't hold a candle to it, and I agree and I disagree. I get the sentiment, but they're different in their own way, right? Just rowing a boat's very difficult, right? Like they're just different kind of hard,
Yeah. You only can take so many Oklahoma drills, right, Goldy?
They banned those. Too bad they didn't ban them when I was around. They always thought it was funny to put the smallest guy with the biggest guy, and I would just get my clock cleaned every practice.
Yeah, I was lucky. My dad was my football coach when I was just playing Pop Warner, and so I was always that fast kid in the team. And so he's like, "Oh, McQuaid, you go play wide receiver. You don't need to take any hits for practice."
Oh, that's amazing.
I look great in practice. Then in the games, I just curl up over the middle. I curl up.
I will say, them bowling me, if you've ever done bowl in the ring, do you know what that is?
Oh, yeah, man.
They throw me in the middle, and they just throw the ball to the biggest person, and then we just run at each other. It was the most ridiculous drill ever, but it made me tough. It definitely made me tough, for sure.
You still do that. I've seen you doing that.
Yeah, I do that with strangers in the parking lot.
Yeah.
I do that at the UFL. I just wait till they're out of practice, and I just run on the field and start hitting people.
Yeah.
All right, so we're going to talk about our training here. So what I'm going to do, I am going to pull up. Hold on.
Yeah, you want to go first?
I'll go first. We'll see how this goes.
Yeah, I have. So yeah, you pull yours up, and I'll probably replicate whatever you're doing. But I was thinking we just kind of go down our main page on Strava. So you do your thing, and I have mine teed up when you're done.
I pulled the wrong thing up. Hold on. We want a window. Where is it? There we go.
Seeing your Strava profile on desktop view is definitely a new thing for me. Very interesting.
It's weird, right? I agree.
The layout's very odd, but hey.
Okay. So, Mac, you can't see it.
I can pull it up on. I'm on your stream. I can see your.
Okay, so it'll be a little delayed, but we can talk about it.
Yeah, no. If you pull it up, I can see it. I have a. Yeah, I see it. I see it, Goldie. You're good.
Okay, perfect. So, I'll explain to you guys a little bit. I work with a coach. So, unlike Mac, I don't have the background in endurance sports like he does to put together my own training plan. So, I met my coach at the Multi-Sport National Championships last year in Omaha, Nebraska, and I used this app called Training Peaks. So, he uploads my workouts into Training Peaks, and all I do on a daily basis is just execute. So wherever you see green, that means I completed the workout. Wherever you see red, that means I didn't. And wherever you see yellow, that means I did it, but I fell a little short. Now there is a little nuance to this. Whenever you see the weights, he's just putting do weights. He's not telling me a weight regimen because he knows that I lift a little bit differently than traditional endurance athletes do. So I'm not doing the weights that he's just saying do weight. I do weights every day, basically. Monday through Friday, I do my weight. I do HIIT training. I do alpha conditioning at Lifetime. UFL Highlight says, have y'all seen the influencers who pay runners to use their Strava profile? I do, and it's disgusting. Yeah, it's... I hope those people get banned from Strava. That's so stupid.
No, Goldie and I could have probably a whole other stream talking about like influencer fitness. I'm sure, and like I just it makes me sick.
The vanity of it is so like me and Mac are just being as real as we can, man. Like we're in the grind every day. This is not our full-time jobs, obviously. We sacrifice our bodies on a daily basis to like achieve these goals, and we're just as real as it gets when talking about it. I mean.
No, you're exactly right. Even, dude, in Goldie, here's the thing. Even not in the moment now, yes, we're both working other jobs, grinding in the moment. But, like, we both 10 years ago were still in the grind in the trenches, like doing our, like I was, my full-time job was running when I was a student athlete. Your full-time, you were literally playing professional football. Like,
Yeah, yeah.
so like we actually were in the grind. Like like some influencers just, they've never felt that grind.
That's right.
Never.
No, that's a good perspective, man. That's for sure. So, all right. So that's the training peak. So basically, because my training is a lot different than what Mac does. Mac writes his own programs because he's got he's got the knowledge, he's got the background in it. I don't. So my coach writes all the stuff. I follow it. So all my workouts are recorded on my watch here. I have a Garmin 935, and then it automatically uploads to Training Peaks and Strava, so you see all the stuff here. So let's take a look. Let's look at April, right? So April.
I got some of your activities pulled up. I have your Strava off to my side as well, so I'm like kind of reconning a little bit.
Perfect. So here we go. March 31st to April 6th. You can see there are a minimum of at least 2 workouts for most days. So Monday, a 1.2 mile swim at a 100 or 145 per 100 pace, and then weight training. So you see, I do my weight training 5 days a week typically. Saturdays and Sundays are for the longer brick workouts, they're called. So in the triathlon world, a brick workout is where you go back to back in workouts. So it's to simulate race day. When you go from swimming to cycling or cycling to running, it's completely different muscles that you're using. It can really have a strong effect on your body if you're not preparing for it. Like when you go from cycling to running, it feels like you have golf balls in your legs, and it is a very, very uncomfortable feeling. So you train for that. So like this day was 24.6 miles on the bike. I got off, and then I ran 9.5 miles at a 7:50 pace. And a lot of my workouts are interval training. We're increasing time and set periods. It's called fartleks. So that was Wednesday. So I wish I had the totals here. I don't know if I could do totals. So then that was that week. So basically 112.54 miles that week. 169.83 miles the next week. 150, we'll say, the next week. 110, and then 108, April 28th to May 4th last week, and then we're up to 33.2 this week. So you can see there's at least 2 weeks or 2 workouts a day. Like today, for instance, look at this. So I did the Alpha Conditioning class at Lifetime. 52 minutes it took me, 260 calories. I then hopped in the pool. I did 1.8 miles. I averaged a 145 per 100. And if we click on this, you'll see, hopefully we'll see. Here we go.
Question, Goldy, did you have a watch on while you were in the pool?
Yes, the Garmin 935 is awesome. So here, look at this. It tells you your paces and the sets. So I did a 400-yard warm-up and a 159, nice and easy. And then a 200-yard, that was a straight pull. So you put a pull buoy between your legs, and you're just using your arms to swim. Did it at 353. And then I think it was 850s to round out the warm-up. We then did this, a 600. It was 3 sets of 600s, but the first one was a straight 600. The second set was 3 200s, and then the third set were 6 100s, and then finished with a 400 yards. So that's just an example of like what a swim looks like for me. And so that was today. I lifted and swam, worked all day, and then I did an hour and a half on the bike, and then that's a wrap for today. So it's a lot. I mean, it's definitely a sport that's not for the weak, and it's always, and Mac will go in just a second here, but it's one of these things that you could get lost in the minutia of the day, and you can tell yourself, I don't feel like going today. I'm not feeling it. I'm tired. What if I miss this run? Who cares? Well, I'll tell you who cares. That future self that's going to be running that race when you're struggling at mile 20 or when you're halfway through the bike and your legs start giving out, That's who's going to care, that guy, because he's going to look back and say, son of a bitch, I wish I didn't skip that Saturday, or why did I skip that Thursday? Just because I didn't feel like it. So that's something that I'm always telling myself in all of my swims is every one of my workouts. I always say, do you not feel like doing it? Or do you really have like a reason that you can't do it? And 99.9% of the time, it's I don't feel like doing it. So then the next answer is, who gives a shit? Just go out there and do it. So that's kind of the motivation that I tell myself. My inner dialogue to myself is pretty mean. It's a pretty nasty guy in there, but he gets results. So I can't argue with the process. So that's kind of a peek into my training. I wonder if it has it has the time. So, like so far this week, I'm at 7 hours of training.
Yeah.
Last week, 14 and a half hours of training. The week before that, 15 and a half hours. The week before that, 15 hours, 15 hours, 13 and a half hours, 15.2 hours, 14 and a half hours. So, like, this is a part-time job. You know, this is a lot of work, and to be mediocre at the sport. But listen, if I didn't train this hard, I'd be bad at it. So there you go. So that's it for my training. I think that's a good kind of overview, kind of quick around what I got going on. Mac, why don't you share your training? Let's hear about yours.
Yeah, you want me to?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. Let me share my screen. You probably might have to move because it's going to we'll see how it looks. Oh, it has the host disabled screen sharing again.
My bad. And also, you know, something I do want to talk about real quick while you're pulling your thing up is I think that we need to be – there's a difference between pain and discomfort. And I think that's something that a lot of people don't come to terms with, don't come to grips with, or have never really experienced. So, like, of all the years that I've been doing this now, it's been about 8-9 years that I've been in endurance sports, and before that, obviously, a long time playing football. You're never really going to feel it 100%. I mean, I never feel 100%. Especially in this sport, it drains you. You're just fatigued. You're always hungry. You're always tired. But it's just like, it's like an iPhone battery, like on an old iPhone. It's never getting to 100%, but sometimes you're like, it's getting close. It's getting close.
That's a good analogy because, like, it's also for both of our trainings right now. It's like we actually kind of are trying not to be at 100% right now. Like, I don't really want to be right now until maybe like 2 days before my BQ attempt. I want to feel like I'm plugged in. All my battery level's at 100%, and it's like, oh, this is what feeling healthy and like energy feels like.
You just train to be uncomfortable because when it comes to race day, when you get to that point where it's really uncomfortable and you've been there a million times in your training sessions, that's where it really pays off. All right, let's check it out. I see you loud and clear, baby.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good on your end. I'm seeing it. I have your stream pulled up. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks great.
Sweet. Okay, so welcome to my Strava profile, everybody. I just kind of keep my little bio up here of what I'm training for. So I'll kind of pop down to here, the activities. So I guess it's cool to see my 2 blocks because this block I did from early back in the summer was for the Marine Corps marathon over here. And then now you see my block over here for this Buffalo marathon right here. And this is that's by month right there. So I'll shift it over to weeks here. And I think this even gives it a better sign, Goldy, of what do you think? Like, it's a little denser.
Well, I was going to say, before you dive into this real quick, you know, before we look forward, let's look back to that Marine Corps marathon. Why don't you talk about your Marine Corps marathon experience a little bit here? Because I think that'll help put into context how hard you've been training for this one coming up.
Yeah, and I think this graphic shows a good job. You can see from this block on the left here of July, August, September, October, like this marathon was right here at the end of October. And the weeks were just those blocks are just kind of up and down. Those pillars are just kind of up and down and all over the place. You can see this one clearly on the right now is my Buffalo Marathon build, and it's just more steady. It's just more consistent, and like it's just all the dips aren't that much, and then look at the last like 4 or 5 weeks are just all solid, all right there. So I just think this in itself, and I haven't, this is my first time I'm seeing this live, like going back this far, but this block has been a lot better for me training wise, just because I've focused more and I've actually done a lot more of the training. And I ran 3:08 at the Marine Corps Marathon for my first marathon. It was pretty hilly, but it was a perfect day weather wise. But you can see the training I did on the left, and now I've done the training on the right. And Buffalo Marathon. Goldy, what do we know about Buffalo? Are there any hills in Buffalo?
Flat, flat, flat.
Flat, flat, flat. So I'm hoping that a combination of being in better shape, training harder, and then, yeah, doing a flat course is going to help me kind of get that next level and get under 255. So, yeah, the training block on the left is from Marine Corps. I took a big break, right? I did run during this period in here. I just don't use Strava during it and like upload it. I just kind of run for fun. And then this period on the right is when I started locking back in and getting back into the grind, right? So pretty cool here. So yeah, this is my Strava kind of going down. I think like it has your achievements and some of like my stats over here. We can look at that later. But yeah, so my probably to go back to my most recent run that I think Goldy really liked. Where are my activities? Let's go to where are all my activities here? Training, my activities. So I got all these runs in here. I'll go to, I wonder if I can sort them by, I'm gonna go a different view, Goldy. Sorry, I'm just gonna, this freaking desktop view is overview. I don't want to see an overview. Oh, well, I guess you got to do the activities. Okay. All right. So, okay. So here's like my recent training right here. I can just kind of scroll down this. Are you seeing it pretty good, Goldie?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Sweet. So like for example, I'll put a run in like this is my warm from yesterday. I did an interval workout. These were some intervals that I did, right? So I did 8x800 here with 2 minutes and 10 seconds rest. It's 4x20 second sprints after. Those are my splits. So I pretty much was 252, 250, kind of right around 540, 545 pace per mile for all of them. And I'd like to put a little recap in for myself because I did this same workout 6 weeks ago that I can pull up. I did it slower 6 weeks ago, and I did it on an easier, flatter loop.
I like that. That's good. That's real. That's sweet.
Yeah, and I took less rest in this one too to really push myself. So that was cool. You can see this is where I did it. I did it on the Erie Canal here, kind of on this like pavement loop here. So pretty cool little run right there. Another kind of cool run I definitely wanted to pull up to show on stream was my long run I did the other day. I did 20 miles straight around a track right here. I'll change the view here.
So was that 80 laps?
Yeah, it was actually 70 because I used the outside lane of the track. So you can see Goldie if I zoom in a little bit. Where did I zoom?
Fleet feet? Fleet feet?
Oh no, that's where I went and took a piss over there on that side of the route right.
Did you
here.
stop to watch or keep it going?
I had to stop it. It was a long piss, a lot of fluid when you're doing a long run.
What was the rate of flow? Do we know?
Flow was strong.
Good to hear.
Flow was strong, but yes, you can see these are all my splits from this 20-mile run I did, like all right here. But to kind of go back, just to kind of an overview here. I like to take a day in between every run to recover just because I'm older. And then I can push myself harder for the runs. So you can see here every run of the past like couple months. You see yesterday, 5-6, that was my workout. Took a day off. 5-4 was my long run, the 20-miler. Took a day off before that. Then it was Friday, shakeout run. Every run I'm taking a day off before it. And I'm making sure that I recover and just making sure that my body's ready to go and that I'm able to do the training that I want to do. So I just kind of went with that longevity consistency approach for this training block. And
So I see the
I
treadmill jog there on April
yeah
26th.
yeah.
Uh, Obviously, it's a very hotly debated topic.
Yeah.
How often do you do treadmill runs?
Well, in Rochester, New York, sometimes you have to with the weather.
Oh,
So it wasn't
UFL.
my.
We got a UFL. He goes 70 laps. Dog, are you okay?
No, I'm not okay. Definitely not okay. But go check out my TikTok. Go check out my YouTube I made on it. It was pretty funny. But yeah, sometimes UFL. I just wanted to push myself, man, mentally. I just wanted the challenge because Goldy knows that marathon is a lonely place there
Yep.
at the end of the race, and I wanted the challenge, and I did it no music. I just did it completely just out on the track, just grinded. So
I'm a firm believer in making things harder than race day. So when race day comes,
yeah,
it's almost like you're just executing. Because on race day, there's people, there's adrenaline, you're feeling good. If it's shitty weather and you're just running circles on a track with no music,
yep.
the marathon's going to be a lot more fun than that.
Yeah, no, you're right. And so, I mean, I'll kind of speed through the end of this goal because a couple things. I just wanted to really show, like, so I had most of my training, what I focused on is making sure I could get my long runs in, right? And getting 20 milers in. So I got this 20 miler, and you guys saw on the track. Yes, I'm crazy. I know. A week before that, look what I got in. Another 20 miler down here, right? Boom. Another one at 20 miles. I ran it at that was like at 7 flat pace. I go to the next page over here. Where's my next story? Another 20 miler. Boom. On the 12th. Right there. And then before that, I had a 18 miler. Boom. Right there. So I got to do 3 20-mile runs in this training block, which in my DC marathon training block, I only did a 19-mile run once. That was the longest run I did. Then I went back down to like 16 miles.
Now,
I just wasn't in shape.
something people don't know either about long runs while you're doing a marathon or any kind of endurance training program is that you're never going to run a full marathon in your training program. The only time
Yeah.
you run a marathon in a training program for a marathon is the day of the marathon.
Yep.
So your longest run is what, 20, 21 miles?
Yeah, 20 miles. I did 3 20-mile runs.
Yeah, and then that's it. I mean, that'll be the longest that he goes. So
Yep.
it may seem crazy that you don't do that, but you trust your training. That's what trusting your training is all about. It's sticking to a plan, executing it, and then come race day, you just let it rip.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess the no, you're 100% right, Goldie. I think the last part of my training that I think helped get me really ready to go is this little block in here on the 427 that you see. I have these 3 different runs here. I did it with a team of 7 guys. We did the Seneca 7, which is a literal relay race around Seneca Lake, which is a finger lake. It's 77 miles. Everyone does 3 legs all in a day with about an hour and a half rest. And so on a very hilly loop. So these runs right here, I had this Seneca 7 leg 1, I had the Seneca 7 leg 2, Seneca 7 leg 3, and I ran them all pretty much at 6 flat pace on a hilly, windy course, tired. So this was my first run of the race. I think this was my hardest run I've done the entire marathon training block, Goldie. Harder than my long runs. This was a 4.9 mile run. I did it at an average pace of 5:46. Where I do it at 6 minutes per mile. You can see I was 5:51, 6:03, 6:18, 5:59. But the elevation gain, I was 72 feet, 65 feet, 97 feet, 54 feet. Like it was just really, really difficult along this stretch here of road.
So
and I ran 6 flat. So
that hurts to hear because
yeah,
that is literally exactly where my half Ironman is on July 12th. I'm running around Seneca Lake.
oh yeah, it was horrible. I mean, look at this. You can see this elevation grade down here that I have, like how kind of rapid these elevation changes are.
That's insane.
Throughout this segment, like it was not fun.
Awesome.
It was definitely not fun. So yeah, I think Goalie, the last thing I'll say is I think during this segment right here, I got a notification on mile 3 when I ran this 6:18 because it was that highest elevation right here. My heart rate after that mile was 198 after that mile. So I was burning it, man. I was burning it.
I will be running 13 miles there after I'll have swam a half mile and biked 75.
It's a tough one. I'll come watch you for sure. But
Those are not the right
so
numbers. I'll have swam 1.1 miles and
Wow.
run and biked 65, whatever it is.
Well, this is interesting. I guess Strava says my marathon PR is 3:06:07 because I think that's what my GPS watch had at DC. But obviously that's not what the race was. So yeah, I mean this is my Strava. Everyone, feel free to follow me. Feel free to shoot me a DM if you have any questions. But my training's been pretty simple. I'm just trying to take a day off after every hard workout. I do an interval workout every week, a hard interval workout. I do a long recovery run, and then I do a long run that's fast and hard.
So let me ask you this.
Yeah.
So if you had to give your training a letter grade so far, what would you give it?
For this training block, I'd give it a straight B. I'd give it a straight B. My DC marathon training block, I would have gave a D plus. So I would give this one in max standards. I'd give it a B to B plus.
So what would make it an A? What's missing?
More running. I'm just more running. I'm only running 3-4 days a week, honestly, and.
But that's on purpose, right? That's by design.
Yeah, it is by design. I'm trying to make sure I'm not getting injured, and I'm trying to make sure I'm staying healthy. But I can probably handle more. I haven't I didn't want to kind of go to that level for this one yet. So we'll see how this one goes, and if I need to go to that kind of A minus, range, then I guess I know I got it in the tank.
So why don't you do this right now? Why don't you get rid of that? Make yourself big again. And I know they're not far from you. Why don't you show off those buttes that you showed me yesterday? Your new pair of beauties that you've been running. I know they're right there. Folks, look at these things. Ooh, baby. Look at those. So what are they? Explain them. Talk it out.
Yeah. So this is the Alpha Fly 3. Nike Alpha Fly 3 prototype edition marathon racing shoe. It has a full carbon plate running. You can kind of see it there. It has some words. That says Fly plate right there, and it's just a full carbon plated shoe designed to make you run faster in the race.
He's got to hold on to them because if he doesn't, they're going to float away. That's how light they are.
Yeah. They're honestly, this is the coolest shoe I've ever. Goldy and I are both shoe heads when it comes to running and gear, and this is the coolest piece of technology I've ever held in my hand for all of my running I've ever done. I'm really excited to use this. It has some really cool, you can see this pod pocket in there, kind of right in the center, which is really cool. And the upper is so light and breathable. It just feels like it's air on your foot, and that it just feels great. And I barely even used it yet, so
they look good too.
It for race day.
So all right. Basically comparing training today versus the start of your training.
Yeah.
At the beginning of this training, how confident were you that you were going to be able to hit your goals?
That is an awesome question. I actually, to be completely honest with you, I was not confident in it. I had some runs when I first started that, Rochester, New York guys, viewers, listeners, upstate New York is tough in the winter for running. I was in, Goldy, sometimes 4 layers of clothes, frozen. The ground is snowy,
That's the
and
worst. That's the
I'd be
worst.
running all out. Like I would do a 10-mile run, and I'd be like, oh my gosh, like I can barely even run 7:30, 7:40 pace. Like,
Yeah.
and I feel all out.
Because you
Like
just
I
can't
was
get a
gassed.
grip. It feels like you're running on ice. I mean, you are running on it. Also,
Yeah.
UFL highlights got a question. Do you have any solid all-purpose workout shoe recommendations?
Goldie and I both do. I could say my go-to daily trainer for almost all of my running is the Nike Invincible 3. It's a high cushion Nike shoe, very light but just very cushiony. I like how it looks. It's super supportive. Definitely helps my shins and my knees feel healthy after running. Goldie, what about you? What's your workhorse?
I am an on-running guy. I
Yeah.
wear the Cloud Runners. The Cloud Flyers are also great as well. I've actually, in the past couple years, ever since I was working at F45 when I was managing over there, I started wearing different shoes for different types of workouts. So I don't wear running shoes to lift, and it's made a big difference. You want more surface area when you're lifting. You want a lighter shoe that has a little bit less surface area, but still is built for lateral movement if you're doing any kind of like functional hit training. And then when you're running, you want your own comfortable shoe that's designed for just going straight. It really does make a big difference. I used to not be a believer in that, and then once I made the switch, I'm never going back. So I wear the Nike Metcons primarily when I'm
For lifting?
for lifting or doing any kind of like high intensity stuff. I do basically
Yeah.
all hit training when I lift. But for the
Yeah.
running, the on runners are my absolute favorites. The monsters are a little bit much for me, but
Yeah.
they're trying to get in that Hoka space, I think, you know.
That's what I would use it on. I do like the Cloud Monster a lot. I had the Cloud Monster ones, and I really did enjoy them. So if
The
I was in
problem
on, I'd be running that.
the problem with the monsters with me, what kind of foot do you have? Like
Super neutral, very highest arch possible.
yeah, okay. So with the monster, there's a lot of room in that toe box compared to their other shoes. So that's why I did not like them. My toenails started getting screwed up, and I tried different sizes. It just, you know how it is. We all have.
Yeah.
We're very particular with our shoes, so I just didn't
Oh,
like
so
that one.
particular.
Yeah. But anyway, so go back to your confidence level. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, but whenever someone
No, no,
comments, I
no.
want to make sure we answer the question.
No, it's really, and I'm sure Goldie can relate to this from other challenges he's done. Like, listen, I started my BQ training block 4.5 months from the goal from this race. And the first few weeks when I started, I actually was seriously doubting if I was even going to be able to run 20 seconds close to goal pace. Like, I really was doubting it. It was freezing cold. The weather here was horrible. I was out of shape. I mean, like I thought I was really fit, and I wasn't responding as quick as I thought. But hey, I stuck in there, and I'm there.
And I
I'm
also
there
think, and I may be nuts for thinking this, but I don't know if you agree with me here. I think that's the fun of being an athlete as well, is having ridiculous goals. And not saying your goal's ridiculous, but what I'm saying is having a goal that scares you a little bit. I
Yeah.
think that's the fun because when you do accomplish a goal that scared the hell out of you, not only that feeling and sense of accomplishment when you finish that goal, it's the effort that you put into it. It's the hours and hours of work when no one was watching, when no one was there, and you cross that finish line and you're able to say, I accomplished this because of all the hard work that I put into it, and it's something that you can really be proud of. And then it kind of opens up the gates to, well, what else can I do? What else am I capable of doing? And that's kind of that idea that I'm addicted to. So I think, just like you, man, like I still don't know if I can do this marathon record. I honestly, I haven't been training in the helmet and equipment. The only time I may run in the equipment is the day of the race. I may just try to power my way through it, and I think I can do it. I'm not scared. I'm confident in my abilities, it's a 144, which I can do with my eyes closed without equipment. So like, we'll see.
And
It's gonna be fun.
And you have experience doing other similar challenges, so it's not like this is a one-off. Like you've done other things, you have some reps under your belt from the
Right.
past.
And so another question I have for you, which kind of like, I kind of alluded to it in an earlier part, but like, motivation wise, what's your obviously your motivation is to qualify for the Boston Marathon, but like when you're grinding, like what's your why? You know what I mean? Like, is there, what do you tell yourself? Because I have a lot of shit that I tell myself, but I like to hear what you say.
I have a lot. There's a lot that, man, I'm a complicated dude, Goldy. There's a lot I could say. I mean, it's about 2.5 2 years ago. I would never have been caught dead doing like another marathon, like training again for a marathon. I had no interest in it. It wasn't even a thought in my mind to push myself again in this atmosphere, in this type of setting.
Mm-hmm.
But things change, and there's a lot of, I hear everything, and I don't know, I don't like the doubt. I get fueled a lot by when I feel like people underestimate me, or people think something's not possible, or when someone doesn't think that you have what it takes to accomplish something, and when they're saying stuff, they don't know you, they don't know all the information, they don't know what you've been through. So I'm a very motivated person to inspire other people and to really prove people wrong is a really big. Is it the healthiest thing? I don't know, but that's how I trained when I was in college. I love proving people wrong, man, and I love when people think, "Oh, McQuaid Milligan, he was a great runner. He's not really training now. Like he's whatever now. Like, oh, you don't think I can? Like, watch this. Like, oh, you don't think I can push myself and improve at anything? Watch this.
Yeah,
I'll show you." So I don't know. I'm kind of petty like that. Like, it's either 50 Cent has this quote: you're my friend or you're my enemy. Because his enemies are his biggest motivators, and so like I'll take it.
And that's the thing. I don't think, and I know when I ask a question like that to you, there's going to be a good answer, because you don't do this for no reason. You don't wake up early or run late or run in the cold, in the ice, the snow, the rain, if there's not a strong motivator behind it. So I think
we both got a chip on our shoulder, Goldie.
Oh, yeah.
I got a chip on my shoulder, and it's just from a lot. And like running is, and same with all the stuff you're doing is it's an outlet for you to push past and inspire and prove people wrong, and prove to yourself that, oh, like I can do it in the triathlon. So guess what? I can do it in my job. I can do it in life. I
think that's just the absolute best. I love that, because that's the way I think. I mean, I'll be honest with you. Like, I've had a pretty rough go of it recently. Just seems like a lot of stuff stacked up against me, and training is the one thing that just kind of removes you from everything. When you are out there, like when you're on the track and you're running 70 laps with no music, it's you versus yourself. That's it. You're in the moment. You're not thinking about anything. You're thinking about the next interval. You're thinking about the next lap. You're thinking about, you know what I mean? Like you're just removing yourself almost from like the monotony and the frustrations of the day. And that's what, like, the only thing we can control in life is our effort and our attitude. And that, with training, to me, that's like the real attractive portion of it for me, is that I can wake up and I can hit the pool and all I'm hearing is the slosh of the water for an hour and 10 minutes. That's it. It's just me and water. And, it's a thing that I think helps kind of get stress out. It helps kind of base me, at least. If I don't work out a day, like, I haven't not worked out since January 1st of 2022. I've not had a rest day. So that kind of gives you an idea of like how much I need to work out on a daily basis. So if I
He's
don't,
not okay. He's not okay.
I'm out there, baby.
Alert.
But I recognize that, like, even if it's just a mile, right, or even if it's just a 1,000-yard swim, or it's just something very simple, just checking that task off the day just kind of helps me have a better day. So,
Yeah. You're a grinder, Goldy, man. I've looked up to you for so long, man. You just always were putting in the work, and like even when I knew you back in the day, like no matter what was going on at work or what was craziness we had going on, like I was just a part timer or whatever. You just show up, it'd be an absolute chaos of a day. And you'd be like, all right, I'm gonna go do my workout, like go do an hour workout or go do this.
I'm out, baby. We're doing it. Yeah.
It was like literally the most chaotic day, but it'd just be Goldy just going, all right, I don't care what happened. I'm just gonna go work out. Like,
I got to do me, bro. I got to do me.
and then we go gym stakeout.
Oh, I can't wait to get that post race, baby. We're doing it.
Oh baby.
So I'll like, it's not really an announcement, but something that I'm gonna do to my YouTube channel because I really want to keep that going. I haven't, I have this big marathon, half marathon record coming up, and then I have, I guess we'll talk about it now. I'm partnering with McDonald's. And I haven't even talked to you about this yet either.
What?
So I'm partnering with McDonald's to run a McMarathon, I'm calling it. So I'm running a marathon in a hamburger costume.
Burger.
And I'm going from McDonald's to McDonald's in Dallas, and I'm going to finish at the Ronald McDonald House of Dallas in downtown Dallas. I'm actually working with like corporate, and they're laying out a plan for me, and we're going to be doing different things along the way. It's going to be a blast. It's going to be June 28th.
Eat a burger every stop.
So I'm gonna include some element of that where it's like if someone donates, however much people donate between the McDonald's, I'll eat that when I get there. You know what I mean?
Sure,
So if someone donates, so like in total, if we fundraise $50 between places, I'll get a 6-piece nuggets or something. If we donate, if we accumulate $100 between McDonald's, I'll have a burger. If someone does 1,000, I'll do a Big Mac meal or something. I don't know. I got to figure out the logistics, but
that's crazy.
But what I'd like to do is a series of videos. I got to come up with a name for it, but I just want to try fitness challenges, and they can be however small or big. You challenge me. I want to hear from the audience. So if it's like eat and burn 3,000 calories in the same day, 100,000 steps in a day, how fast can you do the beer mile? Whatever it is, I want to hear. I'm going to start to promote that and like get people's ideas. So I really want to do a race. It's called Death by 5K. Have you ever heard of it?
No.
So I forgot the exact rules. It's either every hour or 2 hours. I think it's every 2 hours. You run a 5K, and the last man standing wins. And that's it.
Oh, yeah, okay. I've seen stuff like that.
So there's a Death by 5K. It's in Arkansas, which isn't too far from here. But anyway, if you want me to like sign up for that race, or you want me to sign up for a marathon in Antarctica, whatever it is, like I'm gonna try to like check off a bunch. I can hear my wife rolling her eyes downstairs right now when I said that.
Yeah, she's happy about it.
I want it. My ultimate goal, and Mac, all right, I'm gonna put this into the universe. I think this should be a long-term goal of ours. I think me and you should fundraise to do the 7 marathons in 7 days in 7 continents. I think me and you would have a blast doing that shit. I think that would be... I met a guy who did it at the Dallas Marathon Expo because I was working it for the Renegades, and the guy in the booth next to me did it. And he was like, gotta do it. And I'm like, I want to, but it's like $45,000, so I can't do it. Yeah.
Logistics.
But I think that is something that like me and you would have an absolute freaking blast. They plan everything out. They fly everywhere. They have all the and you literally don't think. You just go.
Oh my lord!
I think that would be awesome. We could definitely do it too. We do it together. You know what I mean? There's no reason to You're not racing it. You're doing it.
We're just doing it for completion.
Yeah. How much fun would that be?
I mean, it'd be a time of my life. I would dream about that.
So I think we should really long term put that just try to figure out how to make that happen. Yeah, I think that would be.
Maybe we start with we definitely keep that down the road. Maybe we start with something like homegrown to do one like back to I don't know 4 different states in 4 days. I don't know something like that. I don't know something crazy. I don't know.
No, I know what you're saying. Yeah, we'll come up with shit for sure.
Yeah. All right.
So I just wanted to put that out there. So if you have any fitness challenges, no matter how small or big, send them my way. I want to start making YouTube like a series, Goldy tries it or Goldy does it or Goldy, whatever. So looking ahead, I think we should start to ramp up here. We're coming up on an hour.
Yep.
We're a couple weeks out. So why don't you kind of lay out your final training schedule? What's that look like?
Oh yeah, so we're in taper time now. We're pretty much there.
And explain what a taper is. Explain what a taper is.
Yeah, so when I mean what a taper, it's I've been building up and now we're on the other side. Now we're kind of slowly dropping the volume and slowly kind of recovering up to the race. It usually takes about 2 to 3 weeks to fully taper. So I just did my last 20-mile long run a couple days ago, and now I have another long run on Saturday. I'm going to go for probably 18, maybe 17, 18, and then one more long run the week before. I'm probably just going to go for an easy 12 to 13 miles, and then we're there. And now the workouts are going to start getting a little easier and fast and just faster but easier to make sure I'm recovering. And pretty much everything's just shortening it up, easing up, relaxing a bit. I'm laying off the weight room a little more, just starting to rest a little more and really make sure my body is healthy on race day. So, yeah, that's taper time.
So what's a non-negotiable for you leading up to the race?
Yeah.
What are things that you can't miss or things that you have to do that are just an absolute in your world in the next 18 days?
Well, in these last days, I mean, the things I absolutely have to do are, it's take care of the couple workouts that I know I need to do that I have left. So there's I have 1 or 2 workouts I want to do. This one kind of shorter, faster workout about a week out from the race. I want to make sure I do this one tempo run that's pretty short and fast, about 2 weeks out from the race, just to make sure I can feel the pace. I want to make sure I use my new shoes that I got for a good run to make sure I break them in and test them out for the race. So kind of just really simulating everything I can on race day. And then honestly, the week before is kind of my non-negotiable week is just make sure I'm relaxed as possible that week. I'm taking PTO from work for a couple days. I'm going to make sure the night before the race, even I have a bunch of friends, shout out anyone watching this. But they're doing the Buffalo Marathon, and a bunch of my buddies are doing it. And they invited me out to a big Italian dinner, right, the night before the race in downtown Buffalo, right? They all have an Airbnb, super fun. I'm in this big group chat with them. Immediately when they told me that, I was like, love the idea. Sorry, Mac can't be there. Mac is staying home. I am literally eating a bowl of plain penne pasta with a little bit of sauce and a little bit of chicken, and then just fruit and water.
See, you want to hear something? That's awesome.
I'm not going out to dinner. I'm going to bed. I'm doing my thing, going to bed.
You can't be putting mystery, oils and shit. No,
I'm not doing it.
I'm not a carb guy. I obviously eat carbs, but I'm not a carb load guy. The day before, I just eat normal.
Yeah.
Bread and stuff, I can't do it. I don't know.
Yeah. I'm not a eat different guy too. I'm just trying to eat something that's gonna be light up my stomach,
Yeah, yeah,
honestly.
yeah.
And like I'm not gonna be eating like shout out The Office, Michael Scott and Dwight Schrute carb loading for the
For a
5K.
5K, yeah. Then you
I
can't
just eat
finish.
the Alfredo in the alleyway. So I'm not doing that, but there's just my non-negotiables of like treat my body right, make
Yes.
sure I'm sleeping, don't do anything you wouldn't do before a normal hard run that you always have done,
Right.
like just normal stuff like that. I just take care of that stuff.
No, that makes sense. I mean, that's it. Well, listen, man. I'll tell you, I'm excited. I think this is going to be. I mean, we've known each other for 10 years now, and I would say, this is the start of something great. But I mean, this literally is just the beginning of a lot of fun stuff we're going to do.
Yeah. Hey Goldie, what about our stream we're gonna do a week before the race? What are we doing?
We'll figure that out. I don't know. What are we doing?
Course preview.
Oh, we're doing a course preview. Yeah, we're gonna do a course preview. So my life, listen, okay. So I'll tell you, Max, since we're on air and people are watching. So the reason I've been a bit aloof in terms of like, preparedness. My last home game for the Renegades is this Saturday. That frees up a lot of time for me. So now the timing is perfect. I can really hunker down now and do my research, get prepared, be more on time. Like this is where I'm ready. Like I've been waiting. I hate to see the season end, obviously, and there could be a playoff game, but that won't be until after the marathon anyway. But now the timing is actually kind of perfect for my last home game now. Now I can get some breathing room and really dial this in. So, yes, course preview we're going to do. And then may do an IRL stream. More than likely, we will do an IRL stream.
Yeah.
Maybe from the expo. I don't know. We're going to figure that out.
Yeah.
But I'm really looking forward to it. UFL highlights. Final home game Saturday. Get your tickets. I got some deals for you. So slide into those DMs. I'll hook you up. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I think this is just this is where we said it a couple weeks ago, but this truly is. We've done the work, and now it's just time to slide into that taper and really just kind of recoil, to let go, to explode on race day. Next week we'll talk about some like X factors and how we'll deal with said X factors if things do go south. But I don't think there's anything that's going to stop us from achieving our goals. All my and Max links or social medias are right above me here. So check us out. What are your main socials that you want them to go to there, Mac?
Yeah, I mean, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Follow me on Strava, McQuaid Milligan on Strava. But yeah, Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. Hit me up.
YouTube, X, Instagram. Those are the three big ones for me. So head over there, go for the Goldy on all of those. And like I said, if you got any suggestions on fitness challenges you want to see me do, please let me know. I may even do the Murph after the half marathon. We may get crazy with it. Who knows?
I have one cooked up. I want to kind of save it until maybe next stream. I have one cooked up that I know. I think I'm going to do after.
Do it. I'm in. Well, one of the things that I am going to do, which brought it reminded me when you said I'm going to see if I can do 100 miles in a day at a track. So that's going to be a thing.
I should come down for that.
Dude, it'd be a blast. Let's do it. Come to Dallas. Let's go. Let's go, baby.
I should, bro. All right.
But yeah, that's it. Any last words?
Yeah, follow along the journey, guys. We're just getting started, like Goldie said. Some real cool stuff coming. Our partnership is just started. We're gonna really start doing some cool stuff here soon. Really collabing and like pushing each other to make better content and keep pushing ourselves to new fitness and just kind of life heights. So big stuff coming. I'm hyped.
And on the heels of that, anything that you want to see us do. Stream-wise, any content you want to hear us talk about, anything at all. We're always open to any suggestions. Listen, what you see is what you get with us. We're as real as it freaking gets, all right? So until next time, Goldy checking out from Dallas, Texas.
Mac checking out.